Sack Life, Beat Depression's day 635, and we're staying alive with another round from Sack Life Official, the show where we take martial arts mental health tools. I messed it up already. Where we take mental health tools and mix them with martial arts lessons to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in now. Anyone who's tuning in later, as you know, the show is focused around mental health first. So the first tool, the mental health tool we're going to share and we're going to talk about is that powerful tool of gratitude. The more we use it, the easier it becomes to be grateful for things in our lives and to find those silver linings, even if we're going through tough times. And today, my first piece of gratitude is going out to those who are supporting the cause, either with just a moment of time or by tuning into lessons and sharing their progress with one another. So I want to shout out to Dojo TNT for the support, Thor 306, and Luca M88, my buddy out there from Canada. Luca, thanks for joining in. Appreciate you guys for being the first ones here and for being public with your progress as well to help inspire others. You are all part of my gratitude. And it'll be the that first and foremost piece of gratitude. Also want to shout out some gratitude to some old friends of mine from my hometown, Scott and Leo. You know who you are. Took me out for coffee this morning. I'm all amped up on the caffeine, ready to go. And I just want to shout out to them for being longtime support systems in my life as well. Even though we put a lot of miles between us, we still have a friendship, and it's cool to find friends that stick around through thick and thin like that. So shout out to Leo, shout out to Scott. Thanks for being buddies from back in the day, and shout out to everybody here supporting each other. Looks like Thor's tuning in from Canada. Appreciate that, buddy. Maybe you know my friend Chris Hansen. He's got his Karate Unity dojo out there. Shout out to Chris too. He's doing awesome stuff, cross-training different martial arts, and he's all about that unity factor, which is a huge social support, unity, working together. That's huge for mental health. If you have a positive social support system in your life, it can make a critical difference. It can make a huge difference in critical times. So shout out to Chris Hansen as well. Gratitude for what he's doing out there. That being said, that's the end of my gratitude section. I want you guys to think about something that you're grateful for, and that'll help put you in that positive mindset for today's lesson. And we're going to move on into Lucas says, Thor, do you know Superman? Let him know. He's curious. Maybe he does. We got Superman tuning into the show too sometimes. Speed of Vic out there. And shout out to Mad with Hats as well for the support. Appreciate you, brother. So let's talk about that second mental health tool. We did gratitude. The second one's going to be the list tool, progress tracking tool. It's been 635 days of consecutive progress and success for me, the Sack Man. Let me know how many days it's been for you guys as well. Keeping track of that number makes a huge difference because especially when we're dealing with blue periods or difficult times, or those negative thoughts, those lies that depression or anxiety feed us. Those lies like you're not worthy or you don't deserve to or you can't get out of bed. This is the proof that we did get out of bed. This is the proof that we are capable, that we are powerful of moving forwards, of pushing forwards through anything that gets in our way, any negative thought. This is the confirmation that those thoughts are lies and they're not based in reality. So please keep track of that and remember to take a look at it if you are going through one of those blue periods. It's been 74 days of consecutive progress for Mad with Hats. Shout out, brother. Love hearing about that progress, man. I'm glad you're staying consistent, you're finding benefits in the class, and you're working forwards. And also being public with that number because it helps let other people know what they can do. It's not just me out here. This is not an impossible number, even though it seems like a big number. This is just a daily consistent goal that was attainable. And that's one of the things we try to do on the show is making that attainable, accessible goal that anyone can do in any walk of life. So our core lesson is 10 minutes, but even if you only do 1 minute, that is still progress. That's still 1 minute forward from where you were before. So that still counts as a daily accomplished goal. Keep track of that number. It makes a huge difference. And Thor 306 says, I'm Fat Thor. I fight donuts and beat. I think that's beer. But hey, we're all heroes in our own respect, right? And even though we can't save each other, we can save ourselves. And by being public about our superpowers to save ourselves, we're able to inspire others to save themselves. And in that way, we can all be heroes out here. So keep fighting forward for you. Keep sharing your progress with others, and we can all help each other out here. All right, we covered the list tool. We covered the gratitude tool. Now let's get into the lesson a little bit. Today we're going to work in Muay Thai stance because I love Muay Thai. It's freaking great. It's the art of 8 limbs, so you have so many different tools that you can use. Hands, elbows, knees, shins. Well, you got so many different tools you can use and adapt from multiple stances. And we're going to talk about that balanced stance. You can find those stance guides at sacklifeofficial.com in our free martial arts for mental health class section. down at the bottom of the page and be prepared for every one of these classes. And Luca said Claire came back. Happy to hear it, man. Tell Claire I said keep fighting out there. Keep going forwards. Claire's a champion. She is 5 years old. She's fighting forwards through chemo, and she sometimes tunes in right from the hospital on our Water Flow Wednesdays or our Superhuman Sundays and makes use of some of those tools that work for her. And as individuals, we have to find those tools that work for us as individuals on our individual journey. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. That's why we try to roll as many tools as possible into these programs. One of them being the breathwork tool, which I've heard feedback from Claire that it's helped her stay calm through hospital visits and face fears, overcome challenges, and move forward. So super happy to hear that she's back and wishing her the best out there. Thor says, Heart Muay Thai. Me too, man. Love it. It's the best thing ever. If I'm going to do one thing today, it's going to be practice Muay Thai. It's such a good, healthy outlet for stress, especially if you have a bag. So let's talk about the lesson for today. We covered the gratitude. We covered the list tool. Shout out to Lisa as well for being here. Appreciate you, Lisa. Let us know how many days of progress you made out there because it's inspiring to hear. And let's talk about the Muay Thai stance. We're doing modern balance. So we're going to have that nice square stance, body weight in the center, chin tucked, hands high by the brow line, tuck thumb, shifting that weight forwards and backwards, and miss sparring. Yeah, dude, I've only been able to spar a few times, but I'm looking forward to a lot more sparring out here in the sack yard with my close friends, so hopefully soon with a lot of other people who can benefit from it. It's a great way to pressure test your skills. If you wear proper protective gear and don't go heavy on the other person's face, you can avoid brain damage because brain damage is not good for mental health. But all things in their place. Spar means pressure testing, buddy. It means when two people agree to train together and do hayas together in a way that build each other up. So nobody gets upset. Nobody gets mad at each other. They're not there trying to settle an argument or fight or anything like that. It's just to refine your skills, and it's all kept light. It's a great way to pressure test your abilities out there in a safe, controlled environment. Wearing proper protective gear. I want to say that. So, that being said, let's talk about some tools that can make us more effective in sparring and make us more effective on that heavy bag if we're getting that somatic release. We're going to be in modern balance Muay Thai stance. We're going to practice that bread and butter jab, cross jab. We're going to throw them in different combinations. And we're also going to be tossing knees in there as well, mixing those into the combo. On top of that, we'll be switching to southpaw stance. So we'll have our 3 rounds, standard 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks, catch your breath, drink some water, check in on yourself. Make sure you're breathing in the nose and out the mouth. And in between those combos, we're going to think about what we're setting up for with the next shot. So when we toss a jab, we twist through the shoulders. That's going to preload, right, for this rear, for the cross, boom, to come through. Then we're preloaded for the other jab. Or from the cross, we can chop for a nice knee, setting us up for a knee. So we're going to be doing that. We're also going to be switching stances. Boom, swapping the feet, swapping the hands, and training to be adaptable to more than one situation. No haya bad. Yeah, haya is bad when it is not agreed. When you don't have an agreement between a friend, we don't want to just go around haya on people. We do not want to punch people. The goal in here is to punch the bag, punch the heavy bag, punch the aqua bag, punch those things that are healthy releases. You can punch them every day. Nobody gets in trouble. Nobody goes to jail. We don't use hayas to settle arguments or to prove points. We use hayas on the bag to train ourselves and in an emergency situation. But there's that one caveat. Remember, Luca was asking me before. We were talking about hayaing ladies, right? You never want to punch a lady. Never. I never want to advocate that. But there's a caveat to that rule. If she's a Muay Thai fighter or she's a trainer and she wants to spar, like we were talking about sparring, and you get in the ring, everybody's equal in the ring. As long as you're all on the same page, you can train with each other, right? It's in a friendly, controlled environment. It's for a purpose, for building each other up, not breaking each other down. So that's one instance where you can haya ladies with their permission, Luca. It's always got to be with their permission. So let's get back on track. Shout out to Ken, Slayer Ken, for crushing that progress as well. Thank you for being here, buddy. So we're going to talk about, we're in modern balance Muay Thai stance. We're going to be practicing the jab, cross, jab. We're going to chop the arm down for some straight knees. No haya Mom and Claire. Yes, that's a good idea. Do not haya Mom and Claire unless Mom and Claire want to do some sparring with you. So if you get their permission, then you guys can haya each other to build each other up. Safe. With protective gear. Remember, protective gear, no brain damage. 243 days of progress from Ken. Thank you for sharing that number, buddy. It's inspiring. You're a fighter out there. crushing those goals going forward every single day. Thank you for sharing that progress. Let's get back into it. We'll have our jab cross, you guys are very familiar with, we've been doing for a long time. And we're going to have that straight knee coming up. For the straight knee, you want to keep that guard. Bad guys, yes. Yes, sometimes you can hi-ya bad guys if you're in a dangerous life or death situation and there's no other way out. We always want to look for a way out and avoid an altercation, avoid a fight, avoid the hi-ya. But if it comes down to life or death and you got to protect yourself, hi-ya's there to save your life. So let's get back on track. Ken says thanks. Thank you, Ken. For that knee, because we learned the jab cross really well. So for that knee strike, what we want to do is swing through the hips, sending that knee straight forwards, bringing the foot up as close as you can to your booty. As you turn through the hips, boom, and chop that arm on the same side as the knee going forwards. So when you shift that weight forwards, chop the hand on the same side, drive that knee forwards, and bring it back. For a straight knee, boom, boom, it can come right out of the cross. It can come from our neutral stance, boom. You can step right into it. If you want to make it a longer knee, we're going to let the shoulders go back, and we're going to send that knee even further forwards into the guts of that depression dummy. Let's speak on that mental health tool as well of the depression dummy. When you're visualizing your physical opponent, your active threat is going to be in the figure of a person, right? A dummy. We're going to assign that dummy the word we want to work on if it's anxiety or depression, and that way we can consciously acknowledge what we're subconsciously doing, and by doing that, it reinforces that truth of how powerful we are. So visualize that dummy and name it. Name it the depression dummy. When we make contact, when you're practicing your form, visualize knocking those lies right out of that dummy's face, knocking those lies out of that dummy's guts and making yourself stronger as depression gets weaker, because that's what we're doing every single day. If I can, Sparkman, thank you so much for the join. Protect your chin with the opposite arm when throwing knees. Yes, absolutely. You always want to keep the chin tucked for balance, also protecting against an uppercut, and that's a valid point. When we toss that knee, we want to keep the lead hand high, and you can bring it in. You can bring it to the side and toss the knee, or you can bring it forwards and toss the knee, creating that shield, protecting the hand. We want to work offense and defense at the same time. We aim to make these classes as accessible as we can to everybody, so it won't always be super technical, but if you do see anything that you'd like to mention, any constructive criticism is always welcome. Any points that you want to share, because it's hard sometimes to train ourselves when we can't see ourselves. And just like you guys, I'm a student out here. We're all students, we're all teachers, we're all able to learn and grow from building each other up and supporting each other. Shout out to Nikki Bentley as well. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Ken said, plus today is his dad's 51st birthday. He's been depressed for 28 years, but he's still, deceased for 28 years, but he's still remembered and missed by me and my folks. His presence still here with us in a memory. Yes, I'm sorry for your loss, Ken. Yeah, I know it's hard to deal with that stuff, but the best thing that I've found when dealing with loss is to live in a way that brings honor to those, to the memories of those that we have loved. So let's do that for us. Let's do that for them. Let's do our best to have our best life, because certainly the people that we love would want that for us. We've got to do what we can to keep moving forwards, right? So respect as well, Ken. Sorry for your loss. Thank you for sharing that, and appreciate you out there. It looks like you got some hands of support coming in from Mad with Hats and Thor as well. Respect to yours, and remembering him still, Ken, from Mad with Hats. Appreciate that. Appreciate the social support, and that's a powerful tool out here as well, especially if you're dealing with something. That's why this is such an amazing thing we're building together, this social support system, because we can really connect with genuine people out here. It's not just numbers and likes. These are real people whose lives are really being affected out here. And I want to take a moment to appreciate that. Did you go high out on that thing? Heck yeah, I did. I went high on it in the rain last night in a thunderstorm all night for like 2 hours. I might have overdone it, but this is how I have fun. Let's get back on track before this thing gets too long for anybody tuning in for the first time. We're going to have our 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. 1 minute breaks to catch your breath and drink some water. I have the timer going for us to keep track of our progress. We're going to start with just the jab, build into those combos, and work in the knee as well as switching stances. Go at your own pace, challenge you to you, and we'll have the fighting spirit of the 80s coming through our sweet boombox out here as we train. Let's go with that daily beat. Beats are up on sacklifeofficial.com if you want to check them out for free. And this daily beat that you're hearing now has also been encoded with a binaural beat to improve concentration and focus and output during training. So if you use earbuds while you're training and you get the downloaded version, it can actually improve your performance. Check it out, give it a shot, see what you think. You can stream it for free on Spotify as well. All right, let's pop into stance and get this thing going. Make sure you're drinking water. Visualize that target, square up, tuck the chin. Get that balance nice and centered and shift the weight from the front foot to the back foot. Rolling the hands to keep that pace. We're gonna start by stepping in for the power jab. Boom, right into the face of that dummy and back to stance. Boom, and back. Go at your pace, tuck that chin. Step in, exhale through that strike. Turn the fist over. Make contact with that dummy and move back to stance. Let's go. And back. And back, jab, and back, jab, and back, jab, and back, jab, and back. Keep it going. You can turn this into a rhythm, flow at your own pace. Step in for it, inhale through the nose, exhale through the strike, out of the mouth with each jab. And let's add in the cross. Jab, cross, down the center line, turning those fists over, tucking the thumb, and rotating on the ball of each foot as you strike forwards into the face of that depression dummy. Keep it going, let's go. 2 strikes down the center. Down the center, keep that chin tucked, head balanced, and visualize that target. Make contact with his nose or the chin as you turn that fist over and land on those large 2 knuckles. Bring it back and keep going. Exhale hard, sink on those knees to make the rotation a little bit easier on the balls of the feet. Step in for jab, cross, and back. Jab, cross, back to stance. Jab, cross, and back. Now we're going to start switching it up using that alternate stance. We're going to swap the feet and hands, boom, into southpaw position and hit it with the same combo. Jab, cross, and back to stance, back to square. Keep it moving in southpaw now. Sink on those knees and deliver that double shot to the face of that depression dummy. Tuck the chin. Visualize the target and make contact. Stepping in for the jab. Boom. Twisting through the shoulders. Rotate through for the cross. Keep the guard high on the opposite side. And back to stance. Keep it moving. And back. And back. And back. And back. And back. And back. Switch stance back over to orthodox. And keep it going. And back. And back, switch to southpaw, and back, and back, and back, and back, switch to orthodox, and back. Ooh, that was a 3-hit. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. Boom. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch those feet. After each combo, moving at your pace. Switch, 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 and that's the end of round 1. Catch your breath, drink some water. Ken said thank you to everyone, and shout out to Reed Brickman and Physical Movement Coaching. Appreciate you out there for the support. Catch your breath, drink some water, and we're going to get into the second round. We're going to start introducing that knee, and we're going to continue to switch between southpaw and orthodox as we work on some of those fundamental combos. Seeing where we can refine, there's always room for growth in martial arts, no matter how long you've been doing it. Beginners and experts alike can benefit from daily regimented training. Perfect practice makes practice perfect. So the more we do it, the better we can get at it. And in any form of martial art, it improves self-confidence, self-esteem, self-validation. Shows you how valuable your time is and how much you can do for yourself with that time, both mentally and physically. We've got 8 seconds. And we're gonna pop back into stance. Go ahead and do it. Visualize that target, square up with them orthodox style. Let's start by stepping in for the jab, rotate for the cross. Now right from here, our body is primed and ready for a nice knee strike to the guts. So like Thor mentioned before, we want to keep that guard high on the opposite hand, shield in the face as we chop this lead hand back and send that knee forwards. Rotate back to stance after the strike and get back into it. Find a rhythm. Jab, cross, chop the hand, drive the knee forwards, and back to stance. Right on back to orthodox. Roll those hands to keep pace, keep rhythm. Tuck that chin for a guard. Step in for the jab cross. Boom, boom. Turning those fists over. Now chop for the knee. Drive that knee forwards and back to stance. keep it moving. You can get closer and further, or you can work your horizontal movement in there as well. If you're more experienced, it's all about you challenging you to your level for the day. Ooh, and go at your pace. Let's go. Step in for the jab, rotate for the cross, chop for the knee. Drive that knee forward and send it back. Work that rotation through the hip as you turn through for that knee strike. Jab to the face, cross to the face, knee to the guts, boom, and back to stance. Square it up. We're gonna start working in that stance change as well in just a moment. Step in, jab, cross, knee strike, and back. Step in, jab, cross, knee, and back. Remember, use the breath as well to aid your progress. Inhale through the nose, exhale hard through the mouth. And you can put as much power, as much energy as you feel will challenge you to your level into each one of those strikes. So when we exhale, exhale hard, turn that body hard. Exhale hard through to the next strike, and exhale hard for that knee strike as well, and back to stance. Inhale through the nose deep, exhale through the mouth sharp with pursed lips to engage that core. And back to stance. And back to stance. And back again. Now we're gonna start working on the switch. So step in for the jab, rotate through for the cross, and now we wanna fire this knee instead of this knee on the same side. So what we're gonna do is swap the feet, go ahead and pop into southpaw stance. And now we're gonna chop the arm on the opposite side and drive that knee forwards, keeping that guard high, like Thor mentioned. Keep that face protected as you drive the knee from the opposite side in southpaw stance. Back to it, let's go all the way back to orthodox. Step in for the jab, rotate for the cross, swap the feet, boom. And now chop for that knee strike on the opposite side. Turning through the hips, tucking that chin for balance. And back to stance, all the way back to orthodox at the end of round 2. We'll pick up some intensity as well in round 3. The intensity dial, yes, Ree Brickman, thank you for mentioning. It's all about you. Again, it's about your personal self-care routine. This is mine. So I'm gonna challenge myself to push forward today at my pace. I don't wanna push too hard because it'll feel like work and I'll need a passive day off. But if we work smart, if we challenge ourselves to our level, and as that skill level increases, we can increase that challenge. We can enter what's called a flow state, a flow zone. And in that way, we can see constant progress for at least 635 days consecutively, right? And for Mad with Hats, he knows at least 70 plus days. Lisa's up there, 335. Ken's up there in the 200s. So this is totally possible. When we do it the right way, we can make progress every single day, and nothing will get in the way. Nothing will stop us from that progress, not even lies or depression. So dial that intensity up to challenge you to your level. And let's pop back in for that final session. Guard up high by the brow line, tuck the thumbs, tuck the chin, step in for the jab cross, boom, boom, swap the stance, and drive the knee. Back to stance, all the way back to orthodox. Jab cross, boom, boom, swap the stance, drive the knee, and back to southpaw. Let's stick in southpaw this time and step in for a jab, rotate through for a cross, and drive the knee still from southpaw on the same side. Drive that knee forwards and back to stance again. Keep it in southpaw now. Everything's reversed. We're training both sides to stay adaptable. Step in for the one. Boom. Turn that fist over. Land at that depression dummy's face. Rotate through for the cross. Chop for that knee strike. Boom. And back to stance. Keep the guard high on that same side, on that lead hand. Step in for the jab cross. Then chop for the knee. And back to stance. Keeping it southpaw. Keep it reversed. Let's go. Square up those hips and shoulders when you return to defensive stance. Keep that chin tucked and let's keep it moving. Jab, cross, chop for the knee and back to stance. Keep it squared. Jab, cross, chop for the knee, back to stance. Jab, cross, chop for the knee, back to stance. Exhale hard on those strikes. Back, back, back. Sinking on the knees will make it easier to keep that balance. Tucking the chin will make it easier as well. Step in for it and keep your flow going. Back, 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 back. All right, let's start swapping over to orthodox position now. We're gonna step in jab, cross, knee strike, go back and swap stance. Jab, cross, knee strike, back, swap stance again. We're gonna put everything we learned together for this last minute. Let's do it. Step in for jab, cross, knee, back to stance, swap it, jab, cross, knee, back to stance, swap it, jab, cross, knee, back to stance, swap, jab, cross, knee, back to stance, swap, jab, cross, knee, back to stance, and we're swapping. So you'll notice you can step in right into southpaw, right out of that knee strike, and right back to orthodox right after that knee strike as well. You start working that in there also if it'll challenge you to your level. Let's go. Jab, cross, knee strike, step into southpaw, jab, cross, knee strike, step back, and bring it all the way back to orthodox. Jab, cross, knee strike into southpaw, jab, cross, knee strike. We can step forwards back to orthodox stance, or we can bring it all the way back. Just reset to orthodox, jab, cross, knee, southpaw, jab, cross, knee, back to orthodox, jab, cross, knee, step into southpaw, jab, cross, knee, back to orthodox, and that is the end of round 3. I hope you guys have found room to make progress, room to grow, room for improvement, because that's what it's all about. Self-improvement every single day. There's no end to how much better we can get out here, how much progress we can make. And when we make progress, that goal, we can enjoy success every single day and treat ourselves, right? Congratulate yourself on that success, whether it was 1 minute or 10 minutes. If you keep track of it, you can enjoy that daily dose of success and remind yourself that you did it. You accomplished your goal today, no matter how big or small. You accomplished a goal, especially if you're dealing with mental health issues. You accomplished a goal in the face of adversity. You accomplished that goal in the face of those lies and those things that are suffering. So many of us are suffering through. So many people are feeling that victim mindset, but we are conquering that victim mindset. We are going from victim to victor with this champion mindset by making that progress your goal. So please do keep it going and let us know how you're feeling out there. Shout out to Brian Cabell for the support. Shout out to Ken for all his progress out there. Mad with Hat said, good job to everybody. We got this. Heck yeah, we do. Ken said, feeling good. That's what I like to hear. That's what it's about. Keep going, keep growing, grow through what you go through. And I will catch you guys. Oh, shout out to Carmen Collins. It's my aunt out there. Appreciate the family support. Love you, Carmen. Until next time, I'll catch you guys same sack time, same sack channel, same sack life. Sackman out.